Content warnings for this episode include descriptions of blood, dismemberment, and cannibalism. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everybody, this is the first episode of a new tabletop RPG podcast series titled The Verdant Tide, using the Wildsea as a system. It features myself as Firefly, and my good friends Corundm, BeaZ, Langman, and Sariah Cali as players. Full credits at the end of the episode and in the description. I hope you enjoy!
The Wildsea is a thing. It is a place. It is scary and wild and dangerous and full of life. Not a sea by our modern knowledge, but those who live here know nothing of bodies of water. They know very little of earth or ground as concepts. They know the Wildsea, a never-ending stretch of canopy and jungle growth. Below the canopy, the thrash is already dark enough to swallow nearly all daylight. And between you and me, it's still miles away from the earth underneath your and my feet. Atop the sea, ships powered by massive engines of various types and propelled by saws that rip and tear and pull at the canopy have made their expeditions and travels on the sea of this new world. Our camera opens up with the vision of a bird, flying and soaring over top the canopy, seeing miles and miles of green in every direction. Diving underneath the top layer to hunt a tree rat, the camera continues past swiftly. Darkness swallows. We're ducking and dodging past bowery boughs and branches. We see a few pinwolves bounding by on the hunt for something that moves just above in the canopy. Lunging quickly, light breaks in. We see a massive fire far in the north of the Wildsea. Ever since the Verdant Sea, growth is so swift that fires can burn through material and it regrows before the fire burns out. It's now been just about a century since this fire started, and it still stains the skies of the north black and sickly. Pan shot to the sky and the clouds, then down on a new location. A ridge settlement called Deep Rock. A large town built on the very tip of a mountain that still dares to reach above the canopy. It's one of the only places in the known world with a consistently available mine, so people from all over flock here to find home. It is here we begin. Down the side of Deep Rock, off the cliffs, ropes dangle, and a port down an elevator rests just above the Wildsea. The new beginnings is here. A ship of chrysalid hull with a long jaw of saw blades along with strange tentacles sort of prepared to shoot out on it. Going in to the ship, we see a man of large chest, broad shoulder, large mustache, and no skull hair by the name of Darren Rude, excitedly announcing, "This is where our expedition begins! Onward!" And the ship takes a few moments as the camera jumps down into the depths of the ship to a room of glass refracting light as drops of golden liquid fill up a vat. Small tubes from it are opened by a squid person colored deep blue with some lighter off-white on the front and belly area of his body. A crewman by the name of Octavius turns on the solar compressor and starts leading the energy in it to rev up a little bit and the ship lurches forward. On the other side of the solar compressor, he brings a few drops of this compressed light and pours it in to a beehive that starts to glow and feast, buzzing and moving around. Right next to the door, we see behind Octavius, we see a dark-haired, deep, heavy eyeliner, scary-looking woman by the name of Caspia. Caspia, is there anything that I'm missing in your description?
You know what? That pretty much covers it. Oh, I mean, there's, the baldric, of course.
Yes, the baldric with your weapons. Moving up through one deck out of the engine room into a sort of like medical area, though it doesn't seem to be fully set up. A older man is aligning bandages, getting them sort of on a shelf, bag still left just in front of the shelf with all of the medical supplies on it. Doc, is there anything you would like to add to your description?
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of older in relation to Caspia, probably.
Yes, yeah.
Late 30s, maybe, by appearance. Also, notably, very pale.
Yes. Have not seen the sun in quite a while, and this medbay room seems to have very little light in it anyway. Maybe 2 portholes where some streaks of light still cut through. Heading down the corridor past the medbay, we get to what looks to be a small kitchen and a pantry where a best I could describe as a creature in a long coat is currently sifting through various items, pulling out some food, some storages, little scrap wood here and there, pulling out like a bolt that was bolted into something. Lottie, would you like to add anything to your description?
She is kind of tugging at her scarf a little bit because she's like, what am I getting into in here? What am I dredging? As she goes after that screw.
She pulls out the screw. A tall being of wood and rust and few bits of metal still seeping through creaks its way up, a screw of its elbow just being stolen. 7. Is there anything you'd like to add to your description?
I was asleep, so I just stagger up, fall on my face, go, ah!
Oh God.
What's happening?
Oh God, what have I done?
What is this?
What are you? Did I do this?
What are you?
I'm a thing. What are you?
A thing?
Oh,
Me too.
oh wow. Twins.
What did you do to my arm?
Oh, I was just touching everything in here for fun. And
Why?
I like to, and I need to, and I was just dredging and finding some cool stuff, and I found this screw. I didn't know that it was attached to a thing, and I have to say, you are an amazing thing. I have never, ever, ever dredged anything like you before. What are you?
I have no idea if that's a compliment.
It's the best one I can think of.
We move away, camera backing out, and we see the new beginning moving its way across the canopy of the Wildsea into the open skies and on its journey. where the sound of another engine, an engine of wood and smoke, starts chugging along as a ship just about the same size, maybe a little bit smaller than the New Beginning, comes up with a... Let me pull up the description. With a broad-shouldered man, ratty hair and scars on his face, an arm adorned with charred black metal gauntlet. As he comes up, you see Darren sort of wave happily over to this other person, who then signals to his crew, where hooks, harpoons, are fired out from the ship into the hull of the New Beginning. All of you on the ship hear a crash as the ship gets rocked for a moment and then pulled slightly to the side as your two ships are now connected by metal and rope. The harpoons pierce through not the top level decking of the ship, but the middle layer, which also houses the pantry and the cook area and all of your bedrooms and the med bay. As we move into combat,
Screw back, I say immediately.
What in tarnation was that?
Quickly now.
It's back in.
you hear Darren call out to the rest of the ship, "That bastard Cal has attacked us!" You hear heavy steps moving forward down from the pilot's post and a closing and locking of captain's quarters doors.
I think Doc, hearing this, very briefly kind of flips open his locket, looks at the two pictures inside. People he's been looking for, you could say. One, a man, and another, a young girl. Closes it back up, and as quickly as he can, starts dumping all of the medical supplies into bags. Careful not to break anything, but as quickly as possible. Strategically placed so all the soft stuff is at the bottom. Okay, I think he is running up on deck, but he's not gonna jump into the fray. He's not gonna try to appear threatening at all. Maybe just peeking his head out to see exactly what's going on.
Great.
I'm probably springing into action.
Okay, running up the stairs onto the deck, you would see a few people with jag hooks, essentially bear traps on ropes that are normally used in case you fall off a ship to cling to a tree or cling to your ship in last moments, flung over to your ship, and have two individuals crawling up, one a sort of broad-shouldered man with an axe in one hand, and another one a much thinner man with a falchion in his hands, both climbing onto the deck of your ship, looking ready for a fight as you're at the stairwell onto the main deck.
All right. Well, I think it's time to start slinging some weapons.
Okay.
I guess we're getting that rifle out.
Okay. Pulling out your rifle, are you immediately going for a shot?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, in the moment, I'm thinking, yeah, these guys are in front of me. They're a threat. Boom. Let's go for sword guy.
Sword guy. Great. We're going to have you roll for this.
4-4-3-3.
That'll be a partial success with, or I guess a full success with consequence and a twist. Does anyone have an idea of what the twist could be? A twist is not necessarily positive or negative. It's just something interesting that happens.
Maybe the axe guy uses the sword guy as a human shield now that he can't be in combat.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That is insane. Yes.
That actually is insane.
Your rifle shot, pretty clean, hits the shoulder of the sword guy, still able to fight. You see the axe guy put out the axe, like wrap it around sword guy's neck, pull him closer, and start using him as like a human shield to a certain extent, charging forward towards you on the stairs. And because they're closing in, and because you only got a partial success, you will have a cut if you want to try and shoot next turn, which means a -1.
Okay.
I think Octavius would take very shortly after you, Caspia, running up to the main deck and bringing out a small like wrench or like a workman's hammer from down below. Didn't really have time to grab a proper weapon, but he's able to make a good hit, lunging forward and knocking axe guy and sword guy, consequently, a little bit back as he's imposed himself in between the attackers and you. He's sort of guarding you in the start of this fight.
I would like to say that we get it together. And then I'm like, we gotta get...
Yes. We finally figured things out. Everything's where it's supposed to be.
And now we gotta get up there. We gotta figure out what's going on. We have been farting around in here.
Running up the stairwell, you see at the top Caspia with a rifle, Octavius standing just in front of her, and Doc sort of standing behind both of them, peeking his eyes out.
I'll look at Seven and I'll be like, are you good at fighting?
Yes.
Well, I'm good at copycatting.
I get my cleavers out. Actually, I had a cleaver and a short spear.
Great. I imagine they're both sort of like lodged in and combined with your body. You pull the cleaver like out of a slot in your torso that perfectly fits in. The spear maybe looks like it's a piece of wood cracking off of your back, but it does have a metal tip.
Cool. So I think I'm going to try and go in from the other side, the opposite side that Caspia is attacking from.
So you sort of turn, run over to the side to go and flank. So you're just going for an attack?
Yeah. That's a 6.
With the 6, that's a full success. You don't take any damage in return. You lunge forward with your cleaver, sort of carving through the arms of both of them, leaving the axe guy to no longer have a human shield. As the arm he used to hold the human shield is not really there, as major blood has been spilled on the battlefield. And the sword guy, who wasn't actually fully out of commission, is now fully out of commission. And I will mark for that 1 point on escaping the unholding track.
Well, could Lottie maybe try to go up to some of those things that are lodged into the ship and try to, like, work on getting them dislodged?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. 6, 5, 4, and a 2.
Okay, that's a full success from you. One of the hooks that's lodged in the side of the New Beginnings, you go on and you're like trying to pull it out, and I think you then look at the knot that was tied on the back of the harpoon, and Lottie can untie that.
Oh, thank God, something I can do.
As you untie it and sort of push it off, one of the connections between the ships has been severed, and you'll get to mark another escaping the unholding. And you also get a shot sent next to you, a sort of slingshot that pops into a little bit of like acid that slightly burns away the ship, but you are able to stay out of the way of it, responding in time as you look at the other ship. And there are 3 people there. The captain with the large gauntlet. There is a thin framed woman with dark hair, a slingshot, and a bunch of various bottles. And a Gao man standing very tall with a long rifle. aiming it and ready to take shots when needed. And has been aiming it up for a moment in time.
The one with slingshot, that's who?
That's who, yes.
All right. I mean, I don't think Doc knows what he wants to do right now. Man.
Yeah, we gotta take care of Axe Guy. We're taking another shot.
Okay. I know that I previously stated that you would have cut against you, but Octavius is here helping to buy you space. So, trade-off is you risk shooting him. Would you still take that shot? Or would you tell him to get away and take the cut yourself?
I'll take the cut. No, let's make it spicy. I'm taking the shot.
Octavius surges forward, grappling with the axe guy, tries holding him to the side, and says, "Come on!"
So I have a 6, a 5, a 2, and a 2.
Twist with a full success. Does anyone have an idea of what the twist could be here?
How the blood spills. It's like, it like hits an artery and there's so much blood that it's like covering the floor. It's slippery.
You know what? Yeah, you shoot axe guy directly in the front of his neck, popping out like a hole in his windpipe and also cutting an artery, and it just sprays out, splattering everywhere. It looks like a samurai movie, and the deck is now slippery.
Lottie calls out, "I'm not cleaning that up."
And with that, you get one more tick on escaping the unholding. There are no more bad guys on your ship. Who would like to go next?
I think 7 maybe gets distracted at this point by the termite's hunger and just starts eating one of the corpses.
Okay. Yeah. You grab one of the arms that was chopped off and start feeding it into a hole in your chest somewhere where it's slowly being like taken apart and devoured as maybe you're moving to figure out what to do next while satiating that hunger.
It's like a pure desperation move.
Only eating an arm, right?
Yeah, a severed arm.
I mean, I think Doc might try to run out and help the two downed intruders, casting a glare over at 7.
They're like dead.
Are they alive at all?
One of them is now missing a windpipe and has,
Sure.
I believe, the corroded artery cut open. The
Yeah.
other one is missing an arm and has been bleeding out for like at least 15 seconds from an entire arm being missing, and was also shot previously.
Just doing a little triage, okay. Well, I guess I'll try to go to the one who's still alive, do what I can to stop the bleeding.
I'm having a bit of a like rage freak out moment, so I sort of try to get in the way, bearing like iron jaws dripping with gore.
Yeah, Doc, we're gonna run it like this because there's some interesting stuff going on. You can roll, but you're going to take 2 cut to the roll.
Okay. Oh, well, that was double 6s, but they're both gone. That's a 3.
You are going to heal this individual on the ground, and as you go towards 7's meal, you get kicked and cut off slightly. You're gonna take a damage to your mortal needs track,
Okay.
as you are not only knocked away by 7, but your patient is shot through the head as you are trying to treat him by a sharpshooter from the other ship. And you know this is no longer tenable. You can no longer save this life.
Can Lottie try to go for another one of the things that are stuck in the ship?
Yes, you can go for the other harpoon.
All right, she hops on over and she does her best to get that as well. And she yells back up to the deck. She's like, "Y'all need to focus up!" 6, 6, 6, and 5.
Oh my gosh. What do you want to happen here? You can describe. I mean, that's 666. If anything is a critical success, I think I have to count that.
Okay. So Lottie launches herself forward and she is just tearing at this harpoon with all her might. She is like, we have got to get this out of us or we are going to die. And somehow she is able to dislodge it and have it kind of ricochet back. If we can do that at the other ship.
Yeah, you in the moment, you are excited and part of the strength that comes out there from your multiple sets of arms grabbing it are able to yank out the harpoon, which is heavy enough, and when it falls into the Wildsea, it sticks into a tree, and after a second or two, the rope snags tight and the other ship is joltingly turned and stopped in a moment, with most of the crew thrown to the ground, maybe taking some injury, as the new beginning continues on forward, and you are able to clear escaping the unholding as a track.
Can Lottie give them the middle finger as they escape?
Yeah. How many middle fingers do you give them?
As many as I got. There are 6. You take that. You take that and you go to hell.
And I think in this moment, I want to focus in a little bit on how Doc is feeling.
Yeah.
Doc, you have seen a patient in front of you get killed as you were trying to save him, his arm being eaten by your new companion, and that girl who caught your eye. Now thrown to the deck of a ship far behind you as you keep moving forward.
Yeah, I think Doc kind of stumbles away from his now lost patient. And he's just going to run back as far back on the deck as he can to see the ship that's going by. And just see if he can, I don't know, lock eyes with her. Anything.
What do you want your face to read to her when if she sees you as you're going away, as you're looking over the back of the ship, what do you want her to read upon your face?
I mean, I think definitely a mix of emotions. It's a sort of excitement to an extent, but also a kind of confusion and longing in a way. Almost the sense that he's like on the verge of shouting out, but holding himself back, unsure of himself what to do.
Okay. You don't get anything back from her. You don't read anything upon her face, but you are able to lock eyes as the ship moves on forward.
I think Seven's rage, hunger passes, and she just sort of sits there staring at the mess of gore around her silently.
Can Lottie walk up to 7 and just tell her, she's like, I really haven't dredged anything like you before. That was amazing and scary, but amazing.
I peer down at Lottie, still silent. Maybe I lift a hand and sort of put it, trembling, on top of her head softly.
You want some beef jerky?
Later.
Okay. I'll sit with you.
Thank you, small one.
Caspia, Octavius comes up to you after what just happened. Sort of arm out for a little bit of a fist pump and, well, wasn't a bad pick. Guess you do shoot better.
Well, when no one's cheating.
As the ship engine keeps churning, as you move forward, the wind whips through your hair, and the endless sea of green canopy awaits you. The new beginning has just began its new beginning.
I'm Aunt Langman and I play Seven. I'm a professional writer, editor, and voice actor. You can find me at antlangman.com and on Blue Sky.
Hi, I'm Sariah Cali playing Caspia, and you can find me at sariahcali.com.
Hi, I'm BeaZ. I play Lottie. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Discord at BeWritingBooks.
Hey, I'm Joel or Corundm. You can find me as Corundm, Corundm, on YouTube or Twitch.
I'm Adelaide Ellicott, the producer, Firefly, composer, and editor for the Verdant Tide. I hope you enjoyed listening. You can find me on Tumblr at Ellicott Studio for show notes, updates, and questions.